Hi, welcome. Hope Zvara here, creator of Core Functional Fitness, and I'm here to take you through a great practice today. So you may need some yoga blocks, and if you don't have yoga blocks, feel free to grab a stool or a chair. We just may need it for support along the way. All right, let's start in a standing position. We're going to step the feet a little bit wider into a straddle. Be modest in your straddle, especially if you notice when you're feeling a little stiff or tight this morning. Outer edges of the feet line up with the outer edges of the mat. Rule of thumb, the direction of my foot is going to be the direction of my knee, is going to be the direction of my hip. Nice neutral pelvis, that means pubic bone, hip bones are parallel with the wall that you're facing. Relax the front rib cage. Now inhale, bring the arms up overhead. Feel the legs contract. And exhale, bring the hands to the heart. Inhale again. And exhale. Last time. And exhale. And give a bend to the knees. Glide your pelvis forward, hugging the legs and glutes. Feel the core contract as you extend back. And then exhale. Lower yourself down into standing straddle with bent knees. So sit way back into your bench seat. Feel the glutes stretch. Lower your head to the floor. Inhale, lengthen the legs. And exhale, sit back. Inhale, lengthen. And exhale, sit back. So any stress on the knees, you're going to want to close your stride up a little bit. Roll yourself up, engage your legs, little bend at the knees, glide your hips forward as you extend up and back. Exhale, bring your hands to your heart. Awesome. Inhale, back it up again. Nice core contraction. Exhale, bend your knees, sit back into your hips, back into your bench seat squat. Inhale through the nose, use your hands however you need to support yourself. Exhale through the nose. Inhale, re-lengthen the legs, head towards the floor. Keep hugging the inner thighs and allow the spine to melt. So if you notice that you're sitting in the middle of your back, either do bring your fingertips to the floor or to your blocks and re-erect your spine more outright. Otherwise, feel free to bend your knees and go back into that bench seat squat. Inhale, lengthen up now, about halfway. Walk your feet out a little bit wider into that straddle. Grounding through the feet, not to roll into the outer edges of the ankles. Inhale here, core is strong. Exhale, side lunge to the right. I'll do opposite. Lean to the inside of the right knee with the elbow and shoulder, and feel some good work through the inner thigh. Now, quad is contracted. Sit back into your hips, rather forward into your knees. Inhale, float through center. Exhale, opposite side. So I'm contracting my straight leg and lunging to the side, using my elbow and shoulder to create openness. So try to stay out of the knee joint. Keep sitting back. Help combat that glute amnesia. And then inhale through center. Exhale again, opposite side. Try to keep the feet from turning out. Anchor into your feet, contract your quads, sit back into your hips. Now either stay over at your right side and reach down with your left arm, lowering your head towards the floor, or reach with both arms. So start to create some side body space. Inhale, float up through center. Exhale, same thing to the opposite side. Ground through your feet, sit back into your hips. I'm going to lean open, trying to create more space in my pelvis. And then either reaching the right arm to the left or both arms. Again, sit back to reach out. Inhale, come back to center. Let's side lunge again to the right. Stay in any phase that's appropriate for you. Reach. Stay active in the front leg, the straight leg. Now stay to your right. Start to lengthen up through the right leg. Relax your head low. And go as far as your body will let you. We're not locking joints. Extend even more, especially with your left arm. to get even more length through the left side body. Stay alert and aware around the knees. Relax the shoulders. Bend the knee, comb through center. Nice job. Opposite side. We're going to start in side lunge. Remember again, quad on the straight leg is strong. Lean to the inside edge. Now reach one or both arms over to the left. You can stay here or start to lengthen through the leg. Keeping both quadriceps strong, extend out, especially through that right arm. The goal is not to get your nose to your knee. The goal is to create space in the body. If you need to, feel free to be up on blocks. Listen to your body. More does not equal better. And then bend the knee, come back to center. Bend both knees, step, jump, or walk your feet together, tiptoe balance. Spread the toes wide. So here's where a block can come in really helpful. If you need to, perch your heels up onto a block. So if you're still beginning in tiptoe balance, no worries on that. You can also use one or both blocks for support with your hands. Or some people find that they can use the knees and that works well as well. All right. So nice stacked body, hands to prayer. Find a focal point that's more forward and out than straight down on the floor. You look down, you're going to go straight down. Now press the palms, drop your shoulders, and erect your spine. Breathe. Now inhale, exhale, contract your bathroom muscles, your glutes, and lift your hips 1 inch up off your heels, maybe 2. Stay low. Everything is contracting in your underbody. Inhale through the nose and exhale through the nose. Feel free to be on blocks. Exhale, drop into low heel squat. I'll turn sideways for you. You can see what I'm doing here. So heels are going to sink back. I always tell my students, think about being on a ledge. Your heels are going to hang off the ledge or off a branch, and your arms are going to reach forward. Drop your head. Turtle shell your back as you stretch open, sitting back into your hips and heels. On your next in-breath, keep your head low and lengthen up through the legs. Now again, if you have more of a rounded back, I want you to extend out through your spine. No knees rolling inward toward each other. Plant the feet and keep the back slits of the knees pointing straight back. You need to be up on blocks. So if I have to be here, that's where I want you to be. We're going to really focus on the hamstrings. Keep the sit bones hugging towards each other. The goal is not for you to get your nose to your knees at all costs. What ends up happening is the hamstrings and calves stay tight, lower back stays tight, and because we end up focusing on the wrong thing in a forward bend, the upper back, mid-back, stays overstretched and weak. So we just continue to default into the same body parts over and over again. So re-lengthen yourself out without swaying the ribs. Outer edges of the feet are parallel with the outer edges of the mat. And again, backs of the knees point straight back. All right, I'm going to turn back towards you now. Outer edges of the feet come parallel with the outer edges of the mat. Bend your knees, roll yourself up. Wave your hips forward, and extend your arms up overhead. Exhale, bring your hands to prayer. Nice job. Standing tall, just bring your weight over to one foot, and you're going to stretch through the top of the foot and ankle. So try not to let the foot roll crooked. I want you to try to stay through the center line of the ankle, and just take a couple breaths here. Sorry about that. Notice how I'm standing on my right leg, or be your right leg. I'm not going to sit like I'm holding the child on the hip and use my hip socket. I'm going to bring my hip back into alignment and really use the lower glute muscle and those deep hip stabilizers to help actually stand in this position. All right, now drag your left foot forward a little bit, and we're going to go just into the tops of the toes. So now I'm going to pull my ankle a little bit more away from the floor and just hold that for a few breaths. You wear a lot of sandals or you wear shoes that are not fitted correctly and your toes grip up on the shoe a lot, there's a lot of tension there. Nice. And then just set the foot down, wiggle out the toes. So we forget about these body parts. Outer edge of the foot lines up with the outer edge of the mat. Again, I'm not sitting into my hip. I'm going to bring that in and use that outer glute, lower glute, deep hip rotators. All right, start out with the ankle. I'm going to stretch through the top of the ankle, top of the foot. Take a couple breaths here. We don't think these things are important until we can no longer do these things. Or they start limiting us from doing the things that we love. Any cramping, just release out and back off. All right, drag the foot forward. Now you're going to come to the tops of the toes. These things are great to be doing. You're talking on the phone, you're brushing your teeth, you're doing the dishes. Anything that doesn't really require you to have to do a whole lot with your feet, you should be working your feet out and utilizing them. They're designed to have you walk on them. And then release that out. Kind of like a feel so, hurt so good. Awesome. Okay, legs back into a straddle. Line up the outer edge of the feet with the outer edge of the mat. Hug the inner thighs, nice neutral pelvis. Inhale, glide the hips forward. Now, if you have a tender lower back or feeling stiff, bend the knees. It's going to release the tension in the front of the body, which is going to aid the lower back. Inhaling. Exhale, fall through the center line, straddle. Hug the back of the leg, shake out the head and neck, no tension. Inhale, bring yourself up halfway. Walk your stride a little bit longer if you need to. Let's side lunge to the right. Sit back into your hips and heel. Lean to the inside of the leg. Firm your straight leg. Reach both arms or one arm over to the right. Lengthen into the right leg. Breathe. Now re-bend back into that knee generously. Adjust yourself back into side lunge. And now through center, opposite side. Exhale, just keep breathing. Reach to the left. Inhale, exhale, lengthen through the leg. Walk yourself even more if your body will let you to the left. And then re-bend the knee back into side lunge. Nice work. Back to center. Awesome. Let's rotate to the right, runner's lunge. Even in your runner's lunge, take your right hand and roll the hip down and back. So your sit bone is pointing straight back rather than out to the side. So utilize your fingertips here. Take a small step up with the back foot, bend the knee. Exhale, roll yourself up, stack your pelvis, and roll the rest of your body on top. Re-square the hips again, sit into the back heel, not to the point of straining the ankle. Bend and extend your arms overhead. Relax the rib cage. We need core stability. If getting your arm up overhead is you just throwing the rib cage forward, you're doing a disservice to your shoulder girdle. So hug the inner thighs, stabilize the core, bend and extend your arms, rooting your shoulder girdle. Inhale through the nose. If you want to interlace, I'm fine with that, as long as you can stay stable. You think you're square, square some more. Exhale, release your arms down, step back into plank. So fold the elbows forward, stay in plank here. I want you to externally rotate from the shoulder socket so you feel this broadness without hyperextending in the joint. Now, if you have really mobile elbow joints, you're going to have to pull back and retrain those muscles and almost shorten them up in a sense to compensate for the overstretched connective tissue. Inhale through the nose and exhale through the nose. No saggy body parts. Hip bones tip up into the core. Reach from your heels to your crown. Now I'm going to turn towards you. Right forearm, right fold of the elbow turns forward. So when you open, that bottom arm is not turning with you. So it's an external rotation on the bottom arm as you open yourself away. Now lift the hips, extend the top arm. I can take a knee to the floor. I can. I can take the top foot to the mat, stack or stagger. Press through the top foot. Now bend and extend so you can keep the shoulder plugged back. Rotate so the palm of the forearm faces back. It's an internal rotation, actually external rotation, sorry. The bothers your neck to look up, simply look down. Exhale, windmill the arm down, back into plank, pause. Now again, same thing. Arm rotates so the fold of the elbow points to the middle finger. Press your palm so when you open up, your arm does not roll inward. Lift up. So bottom oblique, shoulder girdle, and hip, we're all helping you to lift. Press your bottom palm down. Now if you'd like to bend the elbow, the top arm, glide the shoulder down, and then slide the arm out. Stretch from foot to fingertips. Exhale, roll down, find plank. Now knees go wide, try to keep your hands where they are, and sit back towards your heels. While in devotional, try to turn your palms up. Imagine pressing your thumbs to the floor and feel the spread of your upper back. Palms turn down again. Inhale, lift all at once. Exhale, come into a tabletop position. Great. From your tabletop position, let's step forward now with the left foot. Left foot steps forward, roll the back toes under, lift the knee. Remember again, that front hip. Most of the time the leg rolls inward because we're used to using our groin, it's short and tight. I want you to roll the hip down and back. So the sit bone points straight back. You're going to feel more work through the hamstring and the glute. All right, small step up with the back foot. Roll it up steady. We're not high on the toes. We're leaning into the back edge of the ball of the foot. And then as you find stability, square the hips. There should be no sacral pain. If there is, your pelvis is probably crooked. I want you to re-square. Ribcage relaxes down. Bend and extend your arms, feeling your shoulders pluck. If you're interlacing, that's fine. But keep the broadness to the upper back. Inhale through the nose. The tighter the groin, the more the pelvis is going to get turned forward. This is our stack position. Pelvis is upright. You need to bend the back knee. Exhale, lower the arms down, step it back, plank. Knees wide, sit back, try to keep your hands in place, go for that stretch. And then as you nestle your sit bones back, You can try turning your palms and forearms up for a little bit more spread through the upper back. Turn your palms down, rise to tabletop. Nice job. Now from your tabletop, cross your ankles behind and take a seat. As you take a seat, scoot yourself forward so the bottoms of the feet can come together. Sitting nice and tall, release the sit bones from underneath you, and draw your spine nice and upright without pushing the rib cage out. Exhale, as you hinge forward, try to keep your spine extending. So same thing again. If my hips and lower back are tight and more stiff, many a times, because our goal is to get down to our toes or the floor, we end up folding in the middle of our body. Now you're probably saying, well, I still feel a stretch. The problem is you're feeling strain. The muscles of the upper and mid back have been overstretched so many times that coming forward, you're feeling that relief from strain. So I want you to keep your upper back open or broad, and then only come as far forward as you can move from the hip line. Now if there's tension in the knees, push the heels further forward. Inhale, bring yourself back up, and slide your heels forward now into kind of a Marquise diamond shape, shooting star. Release your glutes. You're going to shift the stretch to more of the outer thigh. Inhale here, exhale, glide forward. You can keep your hands modestly holding your feet together. You can extend your arms out in front. You can also dive your arms under and let your shins sit on the forearm. Roll it up nice and slow. Nice job, bring the knees together. Now if you have a block, bring that block with. Roll yourself down nice and slow. Knees into the chest, give yourself a gentle hug, spread out the lower back, and then release the feet down. So take your block now. And if you don't have a block, feel free to roll up a towel and you can set that between the knees. Setting that block between the knees, your feet are going to go to the same distance as that block. Heels should not be close enough to touch with your fingertips. So I call it kind of old school yoga. We're taught to tuck the heels way under. The only problem is if the tension in the front of the body is too tense, how are you ever going to get up into that open kind of pitch the tent type of position? Way too much strain on the knee through the groin and into the lower back. So if we simply just walk the heels a little bit further out, we finally get the front body stretch that we're looking for, and I'll show you a really important cue that will go from kind of maybe feeling nothing to feeling everything you're supposed to feel. I like to use the block because it keeps us from rolling the legs out, which again, we avoid the front body. Anchoring into the ball of the foot and big toe, neutral pelvis, pubis bone, hip bones parallel with the ceiling, broaden out the upper back. Exhale, press it to your feet as you lift your hips. Now chin is at the chest, wiggle your shoulders under, create that pedestal. So you're not on the neck, you're on the back of the head and the shoulders. Latch your fingertips together or hold a strap. Now we're not pulling our fingertips or knuckles towards the heels. What that'll end up doing is flattening out the cervical column. So we're only going to push down. Now as I hug on my block, I'm going to try to move my pubis bone towards the ceiling, which is going to engage the glutes. You don't have to squeeze your glutes. If your pelvis is in the right position, they'll engage all on their own. Now keep hugging against your block so you can start to lengthen and open more of the outer line of the leg and strengthen that inner line. Inhale through the nose, focus on breathing into your ribs, chin is at the chest. Inhale, lift the heels high, spread the shoulders. and roll it down slow. Remove your block, knees into your chest, give yourself a nice hug. And then release the feet to the floor. Arms come overhead, arc the back. And then release your arms down. Nice. So with your knees bent, you're going to lift your hips up and swing them about 6 inches to the right. I'm going to do the opposite. Lengthen your left leg out. This is where you're going to need that block again, or that maybe a low stool or a couch cushion, something to rest the knee on. You feel crooked right now, and you're going to pick that bent leg up and bring it across the body. So the block is going to be your support. So you may not been ever told to pull the knee down to the floor. The only problem with that is the SI joint, or the sacrum, is a sliding joint. So it's easily for it to be kind of pulled out of whack. This is a spinal twist. You're going to get a hip stretch, but I want you to support the leg. Fold roller also works nice. You can lay the tubular roller right down the shin. Now, once you've adjusted your hips, I'm going to have to twist a little bit more. You feel stacked, one hip on top of the other. Readjust your upper body. Using your elbows in the back of the head, pick your shoulder girdle up and see if you can lay it flat as you can. So you're nice and broad, and the twist is actually in the spine. Now you can hold the leg in place if you'd like to. Take your opposite arm, and I want you to go into cactus position. So cactus position is going to help root the shoulder down a little bit more, and if you're more restricted, it's going to make a big difference. Pick up the head now and fully rotate it towards your opening side. Slowly bring the head back to center. Gently bring the leg up. Now you're going to be crooked, so lift the hips and turn back to center. Knees into the chest. Give yourself a gentle hug. And then opposite side. Slide your right leg out. Move your hips off to the left, about 6 inches roughly, give or take. And then take your block, draw the leg across. Now usually you'll have to go just a little bit more, so you literally feel like you're on the side of your hip. I have to apologize, I have a little bit of congestion today. Use your elbows and the back of your head to literally pick up your body and to try to broaden it out. We typically have a tighter side. And then feel free to hold on to the leg. I'm going to try to go cactus so I can drop the shoulder blade and try to open up and broaden again, so I can get the twist as hardy as I can into the body, especially focusing on the space on the bottom of the sacrum and to the top, the bottom of the rib cage and the top of the sacrum. I'm a little backwards here. And then full rotation with the head, neck, and eyes. Inhale through the nose. And exhale through the nose. And if midway through you feel like, okay, I think I can get a little bit deeper into the twist, go for it. See if you can refine the rotation of the head even more, so you're not just tipping the head, but you're actually twisting. All right, slowly rotate back to center. Adjust your hips. Adjust your upper back, knees into your chest. Give yourself a gentle hug. And then again, extend, arc the back. And then slowly extend one leg out to each corner of the mat. Nice work. Re-broaden the upper back. And open the arms, palms face up. Let your body literally open itself. Inhale and exhale, close the eyes. Reach the arms overhead. Lengthen out through your legs, arc the back. And then knees into your chest. Gently roll to your side, nice work. And use your top hand, completely roll into it as you bring yourself up. Great practice today. Every little bit helps. And it's not so much always what you're doing, but how you're doing what you're doing.